Seeing you. Hare Krishna to everyone. Welcome to the second day of our first Indian conference for agriculture and farming and cow protection. So today's title, like yesterday, is Grow Your Food at Home. So this is the second day, and we have a very, very special speaker for today. So welcome everyone, and today the Krishi Go-raksha Vanijyam seminar or conference is presenting a very special person as a Padma Shri winner, Dr. Subhash Palekar. Many call him Guruji also due to his great influence in the way of natural farming. He has done a lot of seminars, he has done a lot of projects, and he is a very famous speaker. And he will first speak, and later on we have one of our devotees from our farm in Hebrew, Sri Ram. He will speak in the second part. So I want to make room. Welcome to everyone, and welcome to Dr. Subhash Palekar. Please come online and enlighten us about the spiritual way of life with spiritual food. Hare Krishna. Please, I'm drawing out. Please go ahead and enlighten us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namaskar, good evening. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mr. Damodar Dulal Das Maharaj, to invite me to give my lecture for this 2 hours on the subject spiritual way of life. And I think that is the main subject which is to be discussed today. And thank you all of you related to ISKCON campaign throughout the world, and I welcome them. Since now it is believed that before 14,500 million years ago, God has created this universe. Then it is believed also that before 4,500 million years ago, the God has created the earth. And when the earth was cooled down, the God decided to create the water. So first, God has created the environment on the earth, creating so many gases, including nitrogen, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. These are the main gases. And God has done the diffusion of hydrogen and oxygen, and water is created. Now 70% of the surface of this planet is covered by the water, ocean water, sea water, and also the water reservoir water. Then God had decided to send the living being on the earth. So God has created first unicellular small algae, minute algae under the sea water. Then God has created multicellular algae in the sea water. And then God has created the vegetation on the earth. Huge trees, medium trees, bushes, plants, and creeper climbers, vines. That means first, God has created the food of vegetarian living beings, not created human being yet. The first vegetation has been created by the God, and then God has sent the vegetarian animal on the earth. That means God has created the food material, that means the leaves, fruits, pods, grains, and tubers of the plant as a food of vegetarian animal, and then God has sent vegetarian animal on the earth. The ape, which is the original monkey, and that original monkey ape and original human being are born from same ovary, same mother, which was vegetarian. Now, monkeys are 100% vegetarian. That means the human being also 100% vegetarian. The leaves, the fruits, pods, grains, tubers are only the food of vegetarian human being. Entire food is created, arranged by the God in huge quantity to fulfill all food requirement of all vegetarian animals. No food security problem, no food crisis. When the God has decided that now I have established the vegetation and also the vegetarian animal system on the earth, then it is the time to send a cow on the earth. God has created the local cow belonging to Zebu family, Bos indicus species, very beautifully designed, well designed of the God, and then afterward God has sent the local cow on the earth so that the plant and trees can get the cooked food material through the soil. The cooking will be done by the microorganisms. So the God has created the local cow design as such so that all these cooker microorganisms will be created in the intestine of the local cow, and when local cow will cast the casting dung on the surface of soil, all these microorganisms will enter in the soil, they will spread out in the soil, and they will cook the food, and this microorganism will give available the food to the roots of the plant body, and then plant can be survived. There is a continuous chain, food chain. And in this food chain, local cow is having the great importance. Belong to Zebu family, Bos indicus species, which are the hump, that is Bos indicus, which are the hump, that is Bos indicus, local cow. And when God has created vegetarian animals all species, including monkey on the earth. And God has seen that population of this vegetarian animal is increasing very fastly. And if I will not control this population of the vegetarian animal, the population will become uncontrolled. They will cover entire surface of the earth, and there will be big struggle for food, and there may be the big violence. And nobody will get proper food due to the food competition in between two living species. So control the population of the vegetarian animals. God has created non-vegetarian animal. Non-vegetarian animal. And non-vegetarian animal, when came on the earth, God has constituted one constitution and constituted some laws. Number one, the vegetarian animal, including human, will eat only vegetarian food. That means the fruits, leaves, pods, grains, and tubers of the plant. This is the first law of the God in the constitution of the God. Second law, at any cost, vegetarian animal will not eat non-vegetarian animal. Second law of the God, that vegetarian animal will not eat at any cost non-vegetarian animal. That is the second law of the God in the constitution. Third law is constituted by God, that non-vegetarian animal will eat only vegetarian animal. Non-vegetarian animal will eat only vegetarian animal. Vegetarian animal will be food of non-vegetarian animal. Third law of the nature, third law of the God, fourth law of the God, fourth law. At any cost, non-vegetarian animal will not eat the vegetarian food. At any cost, non-vegetarian animal will not eat the vegetarian food. That means the tiger will not eat the loose pod fruits of the plant, not at all. Will eat only non-vegetarian, will eat only vegetarian animal. And fifth law of the God, fantastic law, that one non-vegetarian animal will not eat another non-vegetarian animal. One non-vegetarian animal will not eat another non-vegetarian animal. And you observe entire nature, you will see, excluding human being, every living being is following the constitution of God 100%. A huge elephant, giant elephant, having a big power, big strength. If you want, it can uproot the big tree with no effort, easily. Strongest animal in the world, but 100% vegetarian. 100% vegetarian. If you will keep the heap of the meat in front of the elephant, and you will not give available the vegetarian food, that means grass, used to the elephant. Elephant will accept the death by hunger, but it will not touch the meat also. Will not touch the meat also. 100% follow-up of God created constitution, and that is, I think that is a spiritualism. That is spiritualism. But human, what he is not eating? Everything he is eating. Every animal he is eating. This behavior is against the constitution of the God. It is unconstitutional behavior of the human being. And they cannot say, they cannot claim that they are spiritual. Not at all. They are atheist. They are atheist. And they are committing the sin. Really. Satyu, if you will not give the tiger the meat to eat, if you put the heap of the fruits loose in front of the tiger, tiger will accept the death by hunger, will not touch to the fruits of the leaves at any cost. 100% following the rules and regulations, constitution of the God. Why human being is against the constitution of the God? Why human is behaving against the God created this constitution? It is a miracle. It is a miracle. That means human being is creating its own parallel system, parallel to God's system, its own system. And he said, I am a God, I am a God, I am a God. That human, maybe any human, if he claims that he is a God, he is a big challenger to the God. He is a big challenger to the God. God is God. God is God. I have not seen the God. I have not seen the God. But my subject is spiritual way of life. When we claim a use spiritual word, it is 100% related to the God. When I say about the God, when I discuss about the God, that means it is my commitment to prove the God. I have not seen the God. Nobody has seen the God. Because God is not the thing which can be shown, which can be given in your hand. God is not the thing which can be shown. But nobody can deny the existence of the God. Nobody can deny the existence of the God. Every moment we feel existence of the God. When we enter in the temple of Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, or any other temple, and when we pray, we feel very cool and calm. And when we close the eyes, we feel the wavelength, some messages are coming and entering the body. And because of the impact of that messages, our mind become cool and calm. Our mind become cool and calm. Very calm. What is the source of the messages which are having the specific wavelengths? Definitely, that messages are coming from the God. But invisible God, invisible God, invisible God, not visible God. That means we can't deny the existence of the God. God has created this universe. God has created the nature. you show single fault in the design of the God. You show a single fault. What a well, fantastic, marvelous design has been done by the God. What a marvelous system. That means the God has designed perfect, 100% perfect. That means, when I claim that I feel the existence of the God, but scientifically I can't prove. Not possible to prove. Not possible to prove. Because it is not a physical thing. It is not a physical thing. Physics is another subject and spiritualism is another subject. Another subject. I will give an example. Air. You can't give the air in your hand. This is the 1 kg air. Take it. You can't show the air. But you can't deny the existence of the air. Because every moment we feel the blowing air. Every moment we feel the existence of blowing air. That's why nobody has seen the God. Because God is not a thing which can be shown, but nobody can deny the existence of the God. There are two forms of the God: invisible, informal God. Invisible, informal God, which we are searching in the temples, mosques, churches, mathas. But second form of the God, that is formal, visible God. Second form of the God, that is formal, visible God, that is the nature. Nature. Nature is the constitution of the God. Because God has created the nature first, then send a man, human being on the earth. That means nature came on the earth first, later on human being came on the earth. That means nature is not constituted by human being. Nature is constituted by the God. That means nature is the constitution of the God. Otherwise, I can say nature is the visible God. Nature is the visible God. Nature is the visible God. 100% scientific truth. If you want to know the God, you have to study first the nature. If you want to discuss about the God, first you have to know about the nature. When you study the nature, you study the God. When you know the God, know the nature, you know the God. Nature is the God. And you go in the nature. You go in the nature. You see, beautiful biodiversity has been created by the God. Beautiful biodiversity of living being, including human, animals, birds, insects, and microorganisms. How many species? Nobody can count. Science, fundamental science, know about 1% about the nature. Fundamental science know about the nature 1% only. We don't know 99% about the nature. Because it is not easy to know the nature by our own 5 major organs, which is visible organs of your human body. But our intellectual can imagine about this 99%, the facts in the nature. Satyu, my definition, simple definition about the agriculture and natural way of life. Simple definition. Simple definition. What is my definition? I say Subhash Palekar spiritual farming. Subhash Palekar Natural Farming. What definition? What are the nutrients and inputs are required? What are the nutrients and inputs are required for the growth and development of the plant body? What are the nutrients and inputs are required for the growth and development of the plant body are not to be given, available by the God, by the human being. No. All these nutrients and inputs will not be supplied by the human being. Only will be supplied by the God. And that is spiritual farming. That is spiritual. Yes. Everything will be supplied by the God to the plant body. The God has not given any role to human being in the growth and development of the plant body. I claim. And when I claim that the God has not given any role in the growth and development of the plant body, then it becomes my commitment to prove it scientifically. I have just clarified that nature is the God. You go in the dense forest is the nature. You see the huge tree of mango, tamarind, with uncountable fruits every year without human existence and assistance. You go to the dense forest in the nature, the constitution of the nature, you will see the huge tree of mango, tamarind, all other trees with uncountable fruits, export quality fruits every year without any human existence and assistance. In the reserve dense forest, no tribal also are existed there. It is remote. You cut down any leaf of any plant in the forest and investigate in the laboratory, in any laboratory in the world. You cut down any leaf of any plant in the forest and investigate in any laboratory in the world. You will not see any deficiency of any nutrient. No deficiency of the nitrogen, no deficiency of phosphate, potash, no deficiency of the calcium, magnesium, sulfur, and no deficiency of all other micronutrients. That means nitrogen is available to the plant body in the constitution of the God, in the forest, in the nature. Phosphate, potash is available. Calcium, magnesium, sulfur are available. Entire microorganisms are available. That means all nutrients are available. There is no human existence there. Who has supplied? That means God has supplied. God has supplied. There is no human role in the growth and development of the plant body. It is our ego that I am growing the plant, I am taking the production. Totally useless statement is given by this human being. It is against God. I think that he can't say that he is spiritual when he claims that I am growing the plant, I am giving the production. No, not at all. There is no existence of the human being in the natural constitution, that is the God constitution. Satyu. That means there is the self-developing, self-nourishing, self-reliant system of the God, by which everything is available to every living being. 84 lakh, that means 8.4 million living being species are interrelated to each other, are belong to each other. They are with so many food chains. With so many food chains. Every living being is dependent on each other. And that means this is the food chain created by the God. This is the food chain created by God. When I say that the leaves, pods, fruits, tubers and grains are the food of human being, monkeys, birds, and also entire living organisms, including local cow, horses, everything. And non-vegetarian animal will eat the vegetarian animal, that means vegetarian animal is the food of non-vegetarian animals, the food chain. And when non-vegetarian animal will die, then that body will be eaten by variable bacteria, variable non-vegetarian animals, also with so many microorganisms which will be decomposed by the microorganisms. And they will get energy and food. They will get energy and food. Every linking is done by the God in the food chains. Every linking has been done. Satyu. Then question is arise. What is this self-reliant, self-developing, self-nourishing system of the God by which everything is available to the plant body? Satyu. In Indian philosophy, it is said that the body of every living being, including human, animals, birds, insects, microorganisms, and vegetation, plant body, is constituted by 5 major elements. These 5 major elements are called in Indian philosophy Panchama Bhutas. Prithvi, Aap, Tej, Vayu, and Akash. Prithvi means nutrients in the soil which are taken by the roots. That is called Prithvi Mahabhuta. Aap Mahabhuta means water given by the monsoon. Monsoon came from taken that water from the Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, or Arabian Sea in huge quantity. And when the clouds are created by the monsoon, and when clouds are coming in the Indian territory, they are giving rainfall, then will we get water, otherwise no. That means the Aap Mahabhutam, that means the water is given by the monsoon free of cost. Monsoon has not sent any bill to you. Tej Mahabhuta. Tej means solar energy. Solar energy given by the sun. The sun is giving 1250 kilocalories solar energy in one day on 1 square feet surface area. The sun is giving 1250 kilocalorie solar energy on 1 square feet lip surface area or any surface area. If we will conserve all this solar energy and we will convert in the electricity, that means when we will conserve in 1 square kilometer area, when we will conserve the sunlight, solar energy through the sunlight in 1 square kilometer area, and we can create 20 megawatt of the electricity from that sunlight, from that solar energy. God is giving huge quantity of the solar energy. Every inch of the soil, the solar energy we are getting, the soil is getting. But we are losing. When 1 square feet leaf surface area of any plant conserve 12.5 kilocalorie solar energy, because actually the leaves are receiving 1250 kilocalorie solar energy per square feet leaf surface area, but God has given to conserve only 1% of solar energy. That means 1 square feet leaf surface area conserve 12.5 kilocalorie solar energy in the green leaves by photosynthesis process, and that solar energy is converted into mechanical energy, chemical energy, and that chemical energy is utilized in the functioning of the plant body. That means the energy is given by the sun. God has not sent any bill to you, given free of cost. Monsoon has given the water, not sent any bill to you, given free of cost. The sun has given the solar energy, not sent any bill to you, given free of cost. So 3 minerals from the soil, up, water from monsoon, Tej Mahabhutam means the solar energy. Vayu Mahabhutam, fourth Mahabhutam is a Vayu Mahabhutam. So 3 up, Tej, Vayu. Vayu means carbon dioxide, which is taken by the leaves, green leaves, by carbon assimilation process for the creation of the food. For the creation of the food. When God has created the environment, God has given the carbon dioxide content in the atmosphere only 280 ppm. That means when God has created environment, God has created the last range proportion of the carbon dioxide in the air, 280 ppm, not above than 280 ppm. That means when the carbon dioxide content in the atmosphere is below 280 ppm, then plants can grow very well. They can prepare the food by photosynthesis very fantastically, and we can take the breathing very, very fantastically. No problem. Everything is okay. But now, due to global warming and climate change, that is the human-made problem, human-made calamity. Now, carbon content in the atmosphere is increased up to 480 ppm also. 480 ppm. That means we have polluted entire environment. When the God has created this environment, at that time, air quality index of the air was below 20. At that time, air quality index of the air was below 20. Now, due to human activities, unnatural behavior, now the air quality index of the air is increased in multiple fold, 400, 500, 700 also. At New Delhi, 900 also in November. But God has given the limit, air quality index, natural limit, air quality index below 20, and carbon dioxide content below 280 ppm. And that air has given carbon dioxide to the green leaves, not sent any bill to you, given free of cost. Given free of cost. Given free of cost. And Akash Mahabhutam, last Akash Mahabhuta, that means cosmic energy. That cosmic energy is given by the cosmos, galaxies, stars. Hey, whose universe? A cosmos has given this energy, cosmic energy, free of cost, not sent any bill to you. That means when we claim that every body, plant body, human body is constituted by five major elements, that is Prithvi, Aap, Tej, Vayu and Akash Mahabhuta. These are the five Mahabhutas. And entire Mahabhutas are given by the God. We have seen in these five, last four. Aap, Tej, Vayu and Akash. Aap means water, Tej means solar energy, Vayu means carbon dioxide, and Akash Mahabhutam means the cosmic energy, has given by the God free of cost. Free of cost. No involvement of the human being in that availability. No involvement of the human being. No involvement. And I claim 97 to 98.5% body, maybe plant body, maybe human body, is constituted by these last four elements. Again, I will repeat. 97 to 98.5% body of the plant or human or any other living being is constituted by last four: Aap, Tej, Vayu and Akash. That means water, solar energy, carbon dioxide and cosmic energy. Only 1.5% nutrients are taken to the soil, that is Prithvi Mahabhutam, and these are the minerals, these are the nutrients are taken to the soil. When I claim that 97 to 98.5% body of the plants, trees are constituted by only the last four major elements, Panchamahabhutam, where there is a question is arise that we have to give the manure, fertilizer to the plant body. It is totally wrong claim, unnatural claim. It is a atheist claim. This claim is not spiritual claim, because in the constitution of the God, in the nature, it is not existed. It is not existed. The truth is that, the reality is that 90.5% body is constituted by these last four elements, not given by human being, given by the God. Now question is arise about 1.5% nutrients which are taken through the soil. When I say that the plant body or human body is constituted by five major elements, Pancha Mahabhutam, but these Pancha Mahabhutam are constituted by so many Bhutam. Bhutam means the matter. Bhutam means Tattva. Bhutam means Tattva. That means this entire body is, this Pancha Mahabhutam, five major elements are constituted by 108 elements. These five major elements, Prithvi, Aap, Tej, Vayu, Akash, Pancha Mahabhutas are constituted by total 108 elements. And these 108 elements are divided in the four groups. Number one group, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And we have seen just 98.5% body constituted by only carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. to the plant body. And carbon is given by the atmosphere free of cost for photosynthesis, and hydrogen and oxygen is given by the water. In the use, water is splitted, carbon is separated, oxygen is separated, and hydrogen is separated. And these elements, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, are coming together and carbohydrates are created. Again, these carbohydrates combined with the nitrogen and amino acids are created. Again, so many amino acids are together, coming together, they create the proteins. And you know, proteins, the basic thing of our body and plant. 100% God created natural phenomena. No human is existed in the entire process. Second group, nitrogen, phosphate, potash. Third group, calcium, magnesium, sulfur. And in the fourth group, entire 99 micronutrients are existed. Now, when I claim that what are the nutrients and inputs are required for the growth and development of the plant body are not to be given by the human being, only to be given by the God, and that is spiritual farming. That means cultivation will be done by the God. Cultivation will be done by the God. And in the nature, conscience of the God, the soil cultivation is done by the local earthworms, the roots and insects. Very easily, very easily. Second, nitrogen. In the atmosphere, 78.1% nitrogen existed. In the atmosphere, 78.1% nitrogen is available, is existed. You go to the forest, you cut down any leaf of the forest trees, investigate any laboratory, you will see no deficiency of nitrogen in the plant body. That means nitrogen is available to the plant body, not given by human being, because there is no human there. That means given by the God. Given by the God. Actually, the leaves of the plants are swimming in the ocean of the nitrogen, because in the atmosphere, 78.1% nitrogen. If the leaves want, they can drink entire nitrogen, but cannot do it, cannot do it. God has not given the capacity to the green leaves to take the nitrogen straight from the atmosphere. No, not given, not given. There is the ocean of the water. The ocean of the water in the ocean. But you can't drink because it is not a sweet water. Just like there is the ocean of the nitrogen in the atmosphere. The leaves of the plant cannot take straight from the atmosphere. That means leaves have not taken nitrogen from the atmosphere. Nobody is there. That means nobody has given the nitrogen to the plant body, but nitrogen is available. That means somebody is there which has taken the nitrogen from the atmosphere and given to the roots. And the God has given this contract to one species of the microorganism. That species is called nitrogen fixing bacteria. That means God has given only contract to the nitrogen fixing bacteria to take the nitrogen from the atmosphere and to give available to the roots. Not given by human being, not given by human being. That means when you utilize urea, when you utilize another nitrogen fertilizer. When you utilize cow dung manure, you utilize compost, vermicompost, or when you utilize the oil cakes to the soil to give available nitrogen, it is not a spiritual activity. It is 100% against the God design, because God has given the contract to the only microorganism, nitrogen fixing bacteria, to give available nitrogen from the atmosphere to the plant body, not given by human being. That means for nitrogen supply, if you are applying the cow dung manure, FOM, in huge quantity, or fertilizer, organic fertilizer, chemical fertilizer, it is atheism. It is not a spiritualism, because it is against the nature created the constitution. Satya. These nitrogen fixing bacteria are two types: symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria, non-symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria. And there is no factory in the entire world. There is no factory in the entire world to manufacture these bacteria. No. Human being cannot create anything. God has not given the creation power to the human being. That is the only right of the God, to create something, to create something, to create something. Satyu, we can't create anything. We can't create anything. Creation power is only in the right of the God. When you dibble or sow one seed of the wheat in the soil, you will get 250 grains, seeds from the one seed. That is the creation. That is the creation. It's done by the God. No human being there. No human being. That means we can't create anything. We are not creators. We can reduction, we reduce, but we can't create. When if you want to manufacture one commodity, and when you add 100 kg of raw material in the machine, the end product will come out, and that is only 98 kg, 95 kg. That means addition. Human can reduce only, not create anything. So this nitrogen fixing bacteria cannot be created in the laboratory. In the laboratory, these bacteria are only multiplied by cell division. Cell division, no creation. There is only one factory in the entire universe in which these nitrogen fixing bacteria are created, and that is the intestine of Holy Mother of local cow. Intestine of Holy Mother, local cow. Only factory, only factory. And when dung is coming out through the stomach of the your local cow, then all these nitrogen fixing bacteria are coming on the dung. And when you prepare Jivamrutam, Ghana Jivamrutam, in my technology, as a best culture of the microorganism, and you in the soil, all the nitrogen fixing bacteria are spreading in the soil, and they take nitrogen from the atmosphere and give available to the roots. Show me your role in the nitrogen fixing process. Show me single role to human being. No role. It is 100% natural spiritual system of the God. Phosphate, potash are existed in the soil in huge quantity. Micronutrients are existed in the soil in huge quantity. If there is no any deficiency of any nutrient in the plant body in the forest, that means every nutrient is available to the use of plant body in the forest. What is the source? What is the source? Taken from the soil. Taken from the soil. That means if the soil is deficited, maybe deficiency in the plant body, but there is no deficiency of any nutrient. And taken from the soil, that means soil is enriched by all nutrients. Soil is the ocean of the nutrient. No problem. Soil is the mother soil. Annapurna, Anna. But what are the nutrients are existed in the soil? They are not in cooked form. They are not in available form. In the cooked form, all the nutrients in the soil are in raw form, in uncooked form. That means in the soil, all the nutrients are existed in the form of grains, raw grains, not in the form of the cooked food. The roots want the cooked food. Roots want cooked food. Roots do not want the raw grains, that means nutrients in the raw form. And that God has given this contract to microorganisms to cook this food and supply to the roots. Only microorganism. Phosphate solubilizing bacteria cook the phosphate and supply to the roots. Bacillus silicus cook the potash and supply to the root. Thioxidant cook the sulfur and supply to the roots. Ferrous bacteria cook the ferrous and supply to the roots. Mycorrhiza fungus cook entire micronutrients and supply to the roots. That means all these microorganisms are involved in the availability of the food in the cooked stage, not in the raw stage, and that contract has been given by the God only microorganism species, and all these microorganisms are not created in the laboratory. In the laboratory, cell division is taken place, no creation, no manufacturing, only factory, and that is the intestine of the local cow, our holy mother cow. In intestine, all these bacteria, all these microorganisms created are coming in the dung, and when you utilize the dung in the soil by means of the Jivamrutam, Ghana Jivamrutam, a burst culture of the microorganism, it's spread out in the soil. They cook the food, convert non-available into available form, and all the nutrients are available to the plant. Show me existence of the God. Show me existence of human being. Only existence of the God you can see, but no any existence of the human being in this all processes. That means it is our ego that I am growing the plant, I am taking the production. It is 100% atheism when you claim that you are producing, you are growing the plant, crops, you are not spiritual, you are the atheist, you are atheist, not spiritual. You are behaving against the God, constitution of the God. How we can say, how you can see, you can claim that you are spiritual? It is totally wrong. You are not spiritual because you are challenging the God. You are challenging the God. So forget the manure, forget the fertilizer, forget any nutrient. Not necessary at all. Not necessary at all. In this 10,000 year, process of the agriculture technology, which agriculture technology are given to the farmers since 10,000 years, every technology is claiming that there are no nutrients in the soil. You have to give available to the soil in the form of the manure, cow dung manure, compost, vermicompost, chemical fertilizer, and all other manure. Otherwise, plant cannot grow and cannot give the production. 100% false claim has been done by these all technologists since 10,000 years. They claim that cow dung manure, compost, vermicompost, all organic manures and fertilizers are the food of the plant body. So we have to supply external. Totally wrong claim has been done by these people. In the entire history of the Indian farming or global farming, Subhash Palekar is the first person who is claiming that no manure is the food of the plant body, no fertilizer is the food of the plant body, no cow dung manure is the food of the plant body, no compost or vermicompost is the food of the plant body, no panchagavya, dashagavya is the food of the plant body, no homa farming is the food of the plant body. Nothing. Because God has created His own parallel system, His own system which is self-reliant, self-developing and self-nourishing. No role to human being is given by the God in this system. Satya. That means we have to follow the God. And we have to agree the God. We have to believe the God. I have read all Vedas, all Upanishads, all Puranas. I have read Quran Sharif, Bible, and all Granthas, Mahayana, Hinayana, Buddha, and also Jain Granthas. I have read all Granthas of all religions, and I came on the conclusion that only God is giving two orders to the human being. God is giving two orders to human being. First order, believe me. Sri Krishna say to Arjuna, believe me. शरणागत हो, मुझे शरणागत हो, अपना दिमाग मत लड़ाओ, मुझे शरणागत हो, follow me. Second guideline has given by the God, believe me and follow me. What I will say, you follow only. What I will say, you follow. Arjuna, आप कौन होते हो? Who are you? You will not kill. You will not kill your relatives. No. You are nothing. Everything will be done by the God on the specific way and specific time. Not before time, not after time. Who are you? Krishna says to Arjuna, believe me and follow me. How to believe? How to follow? Just I have given the clarification that the nature is the God. That means you have to follow the God, you will follow the nature. You believe the God means you believe the nature, you will believe the God. That means what are existed in the nature, only we have to follow. And what you have seen, you go to the dense forest nature and you will see huge quantity of the fruits are existed on the huge tree of mango, tamarind and all other without human existence and assistance. You will see there is no chemical farming under that tree. That huge tree in the forest, which is grown by only God, not by human being. You will see no chemical farming existed in the nature. That means chemical farming is not the order of the God. chemical farming is not the gift of the God. It is human made. That means God is giving the message to you through that history that don't follow chemical farming. See, without chemical farming, I am giving uncountable fruits. Only believe me and follow me. Don't try, don't practice this chemical farming. But nobody is listening to God. Everybody is following chemical farming. And in evening, they are going in the temple and praying, hey, atheist, atheist. हाँ? भगवान को मूर्ख बना रहा है, पाखंडी, नास्तिक. It is 100% atheism. He is not believing and following God. You go in the dense forest, you will see no organic farming is there, no compost, vermicompost, no waste composer, no any biofertilizer, no any EM solution, nothing is there, no Gokulam, Go Amrutam, which is prepared by Goshala at Ahmedabad. Nothing is there. That means no organic farming existed in the nature. That means God is giving the message to living being, human being, that don't follow organic farming. Don't utilize compost, vermicompost, biodynamic, waste decomposer, and no EM solution, and nothing. Don't utilize anything. No oil cakes, nothing. See, uncountable fruits without this organic farming I am giving. Believe me, follow me. But nobody is believing the God. Everybody is following the organic farming. They are not really spiritualists. They are atheists. They are 100% atheist. Nastika, Pakhandi, Nastika. You go to the dense forest, you will see. There is no truckload of the FYM, cow dung manure in the nature. No. So also uncountable fruits. That means there is no traditional, indigenous, Indian, ancient cow dung manure based farming in the nature. No single gram truckload of the FYM is utilized by the God in the nature. So also uncountable fruits. That means God is giving the message through that tree that don't utilize cow dung manure, don't utilize your FYM, not necessary. Without truckload cow dung manure, see, I am giving uncountable fruits. But nobody is believing the God and nobody is following the God. They are utilizing truckload of their FYM cow dung manure in the soil, and they are spoiling the soil because the soil is not having the capacity to digest more than 400 kg cow dung manure. Not at all. The soil is not having the capacity to digest more than 400 kilo cow dung manure per acre. And when you utilize truckload of the FYM, the indigestion is taken place in the soil and constipation has been done, and they create so many impurities in the plant body. Resistance power is reduced and insect attack, and when there is a dry spell, no rain, total crop is dried under this cow dung manure saturated farming system. Don't utilize your intellectual. Don't utilize your ego that you are the creator. No, you are not creator. We are not creator. Because God has not given any creation power to the human being. That is the only power of the God. Don't challenge to the God. Only utilize Jivamrutam, Ghana Jivamrutam as the best culture of the microorganisms. We do not want any manure fertilizer in the soil. We want only cooker microorganism, and Deshi local cow is the best source of the microorganism. I have tested dung and urine of all animals. Buffalo dung and dung and urine I have tested. Bullock dung and urine I have tested. Jersey Holstein I have tested. Buffalo I have tested. Camel I have tested. Goat and every animal I have tested the dung and urine in the laboratory. I have seen the best culture only the local cow dung, Bos indicus, our Indian cow, our African cow, which is the Bos indicus, only local cow which has the hem, and that is the cow of the Lord Krishna. That is the cow of the Lord Krishna. That is the cow of the Lord Krishna. Agriculture is straight related to the local cow. That means agriculture is straight related to the Lord Krishna, to Lord Krishna. Satyo, when you spray insecticide and fungicide to control the insect and diseases, I have one question to you. Why there is no insect attack and disease attack on the forest? Why? Why there is no attack? That means God has given the beautiful gift to every living being, including human, animal, and plant body. And that is the resistance power, immunity. A beautiful gift has been given by the God to the human being. And that, I think that is the best immunity. And humus is giving that immunity in the plant body, and humus is created by decomposition of the residues of the crop by microorganisms. When you utilize Jivamrutam Ghana Jivamrutam prepared from the dung and urine of the local cow and the pulses flour and jaggery, that Jivamrutam Ghana Jivamrutam is the best culture of the microorganism. When is spread out the residues of crop at a mulching on the surface of soil, when you give Jivamrutam Ghana Jivamrutam in the soil as a best culture of the microorganism, they start their activities, they create the humus, and that humus is the foodstuff of the all roots of the every plant, because plant roots are taking entire nutrient through the humus. Humus is the fertility of the soil. Humus is the productivity of the soil. Humus is the liveliness of the soil. Humus is the soil, mother's soil. And that humus is created only in Subhash Palekar Natural Farming, not in organic farming, not in Vedic farming, not in yogic farming, and not in chemical farming, and not in your traditional farming also. Because cow dung manure is not manufactured near the root, because there is another law of the nature. That humus is created near the root, not beyond the root. Because the roots are feeding carbohydrates, that means sugar, to the microorganism, and in exchange, the microorganism cook the food and supply to the roots. This symbiosis. That means when microorganism cook the food and supply to the roots, in exchange, the roots are feeding the sugar to the roots to give available energy and their cell division. Their symbiosis. That means humus is created only near the root, not beyond the root. Not beyond the root. Cow dung manure is not created near the root zone. It is created in the pit. That means cow dung manure is a manure, not humus. Compost, vermicompost are created in the factory, in the pit. Now we are near the root zone. that means compost, vermicompost are the manure, not the humus. Chemical fertilizers are created, manufactured in the factory, not near the root zone. That means these are the manures, fertilizers, they are not the humus. Even Panchagavya, Dashagavya are manufactured in the factory, in the home, not near the root zone. That means Panchagavya, Dashagavya is a manure, is not a humus. And even Homa farming, you see, not in the God, nature. There is no Homa farming in the nature, in the constitution of the God. Why Homa farming in the creator? Why? That means it is against this behavior is against nature, against the God. It is not spiritualism. It is against the constitution of the God. No mantra padhana, no yoga sadhana. That means no yogic agriculture in the nature, in the constitution of the God. Without yoga sadhana, without mantra padhana, without yogic farming, the plants are giving huge quantity, uncountable food. That means God is giving the message to the human being. Don't start this Homa farming. Don't start this Panchagavya, Dashagavya in the agriculture, in the land. Don't try this yogic farming. That means mantra padhana, yoga sadhana. Not necessary at all. Not necessary at all. It is against. Without this thing, I am giving the uncountable foods, but nobody is believing the God. Everybody is trying to Homa farming and Panchagavya, Dashagavya and mantra padhana, yoga sadhana, total against the God, against the nature of the God, against the constitution of the God. These people are not spiritual. They are atheists. I think that. That immunity is given by the humus to the plant body. So no insect attack, disease attack. In human body, there is immunity system. And there are 4 branches of the immunity system. Number 1, white blood cell. This is the first branch of the immunity system. Second, T lymphocyte cell. Second branch of the human immunity system. Third, B lymphocyte cell. This is the third branch of the immunity system. And then it is macrophage, white cells, and neutrophils, white cell. This is the 4th branch of the immunity system. And all these 4 branches in the human body of the immunity system are activated by only naturally grown, God created, nutritious, poison-free, medicinal food, not is given by chemically grown, organically grown food us. That means this immunity will save our body from all diseases, including corona, cancer, diabetes, heart attack. This human immunity, is developed and activated only by naturally grown, poison-free, nutritious, medicinal food, not the food not by the food which is grown under chemical farming and organic farming also. Because chemical farming is feeding poison to the human being. Also, organic farming is feeding the heavy metals, cadmium, arsenic, mercury, lead. These are the poisonous heavy metals are fed through the organic farming to the human body. Also, radioactive elements we are feeding by this organic farming. So our immunity in human body is only developed and activated by naturally grown poison-free food, not chemically and organically grown. And this naturally grown food can be created by only in Subhash Palekar Natural Farming under the guidance of the local cow, and that local cow is a Bos indicus, and that local cow is spread out in entire world. The importance of the local cow has been given in the history of the human being first time by Lord Sri Krishna, and Lord Krishna was a big campaigner of system transformer and social reformer. Lord Krishna was a big campaigner of system transformation and also social reformation. Social reformation, he stopped the exploitation of the rural economy, of the rural people and rural youth and rural child, because exploitation was done by Mathura king and this exploited system, and that Lord Krishna has stopped that exploitation. The grains were going to Mathura, the butter, milk was going to Mathura, vegetables were going to Mathura, and children were not getting the milk, butter, and grain sufficient in quantity. So Lord Krishna has started one big movement against the king, against the exploited system, and they restricted the outgoing food material and they distributed in the team of the youth. And when the team of the youth became stronger, and then they fought against your imperialism of Kansa and Jarasandha, and then Lord Krishna has done a fantastic job of not the battle of Mahabharatam, I am not giving more importance to the battle of Mahabharata Yuddha. No, I am giving the importance, the best work has been done by Lord Krishna, that is the system transformation and social reformation. I think that it was Lord Krishna was the first human being who was the best system transformer and a social reformer. And now Mahatma Gandhi, today is the 2nd October, and I think that the Mahatma Gandhi is a incarnation of Lord Krishna, and I think that if you will follow Krishna, that means you will follow in the God, and that means you have to follow only nature, because nature is the God. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Subhash Palekar, of enlightening us how we can naturally and spiritually grow our food and get a good resistance, and we will be in harmony with the universe. So thank you very much. We are very much honored that you took the time to address our forum. And are there any questions? I was wondering, we're using a lot of Jivamrita and Ganjivamrita, and we're also using vermicompost. I hope I'm not entering in the category of atheist now. We have a big goshala, so we have a lot of cow dung.
I am not utilizing vermicompost. I am totally against vermicompost compost. Okay. I am totally against vermicompost compost, because it is against the God constitution. There is no vermicompost in the nature, in the constitution of the God. I am totally against.
Yeah. But Jivamrit and Ganjivamrit, that should be okay.
It is a culture of the microorganism. It is not a manual.
Yes.
As like your curd.
We have a lot of.
We add only one spoonful of the curd as a culture of the microorganism. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I think we'll switch over now to Sri Ram. It was so nice to have you, and I hope we'll meet you again in the future. Hare Krishna, Subhash Palekar.
Thank you much.
Hare Krishna. Sri Ram is coming on. So that was very interesting. And now we have Sri Ram. He is down in Hebri in South India in the farm. And so he's in the same place as yesterday his guru was speaking. His Holiness Bhakti Raghava Swami. Please enlighten us and please come on and go ahead. Hare Krishna. Welcome, Sri Ramdas.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Am I audible to everybody? I hope it's audible. Thanks for giving opportunity to speak in this forum. Um, I'm going to talk. I'm going to share my screen here before I do. Um, Hare Krishna. So, my respectful obeisance to Srila Prabhupada and all the Vaishnavas. As Palekarji has nicely mentioned about how we should be connected to God if you're doing natural farming, Subhash Palekar farming. This is what Srila Prabhupada was envisioned, keeping cows and a small land, and a devotee can live on the land. This is Prabhupada also wants devotees to move to the land and work on the land. Prabhupada's emphasis mainly that use only what you can produce what you need. That was Srila Prabhupada's slogan. I mean, it was actually insisting on that. So we've been a lot of devotees yesterday. One devotee was asking about why we can have only temples, why we need land, and a lot of devotees will also ask, I don't know farming. I'm not much into the farming. So these slides I'm going to mention mainly focus on two aspects of it. One is about um, uh, why Prabhupada wants devotees to do farming, and also why we need training simultaneously. Like Palekarji nicely mentioned, um, if you are a God consciousness people, we have to connect to the nature. He was emphasizing that, and also he was emphasizing that if you are following Krishna's instructions, if you are following Krishna's, you should also depend on its nature. So that was nicely presented. Um, so when we heard, I mean, we are a group of devotees down south. We were actually working on how we can actually get into the farming, and we did some research on the farming and also different aspects. What we actually found, the current day issues in the farming are, like Palekarji mentioned, the soil actually lost the richness because it's been chemically polluted. A lot of lands in the current situation, and the return of investment to farmers are very low. And also there is no proper seeds. Seeds are missing, and also the farming profession has been gradually taken down, and the water tables are coming down, and also degrading the health and lifestyle. So these were some things we came up, and we understood these things to be, at least we made a research on these topics to help us as individuals, and how we can help the community also. You can see the farming. If you see the farmers, the suicide rate has been very, very high in India. We found this is very very shocking for all of us. Um, if you also see the total food grains in India, it's been like consistent. It was even white revolution, it was coming down. So that was also some information we were gathering. And if you see the farming as a profession, even normal, there's a decline in the profession. That was a census from the government, which is showing. And also the farmers, mostly who was continuing the farming, some are quitting and going to cities because there is no lot of production issues and all that. But some are continuing, as 72% of farmers are liking their profession and going around. So what we thought, the two things like Prabhupada mentioned, the preaching is essence, unity is a strength. How we can connect cows to the farm, cow to the land, how we can actually train our own devotees in this area. Prabhupada is emphasizing on Varnashrama colleges, especially having more training centers. We also follow Subhash Palekar farming techniques. We are very grateful to Guruji. He's been inspiration for all of us in handling this farming. And also We actually began with small. We have two setups south in Telangana. We have started with 2 farmers and 5 cows and 6 acres. And our story, because the where we are put up, there are two variety of crops here. One is vegetables, millets, and rice. The other is a high cotton area. This is a cotton belt. It's a black soil. So we also worked on cotton very much because the BT is dominant in this area. BT seed has been killing. So we actually got the natural seed to subsidize. And when we got into this whole thing of working with cows and farming, we also found we should also make the end product of it. We actually devotees like how Gandhi were making a movement by self-sustaining of making our own cloth. Prabhupada wants basically 4 things. Um, we have to be expert in making our own houses, our own cloth, food. So these are some of the areas Prabhupada also emphasized we should make our own cloth. So as through his inspiration, we actually made our own cloth, the way which I'm wearing now, through cows and through non-GMO seeds, through organic. It says organic there, but handloom picked cotton, hand spincers. We have our own devotees making. We have a Mataji. I'll show you. She chants every day 32 rounds. She does a weaving. She makes, it takes for 10 days for to make one sari. And we have our own dhotis, and it's like a village. Like we want to develop a community. We need to be self-sufficient. Means we just not food, we need cloth, we need houses, we need, like, the background what I'm here, it's a mud wall. It's fully with cow dung and mud. It's just mix of mud and cow dung. So if we want to become self-sufficient, we need all of us. So this attempt to revive this through Varnashram college system, what Prabhupada told. So we have a fabric which is grown by devotees, and we have few farmers, few devotee farmers who are doing this. So I will basically show a short video now. Why with more information what I mentioned, then I'll come back to this. Give me a second. Stop share back here. Okay.
Life. In many countries, agriculture flourished for thousands of years without grossly disturbing the natural cycles of the environment because it was based on cows.
Given the status of a mother in Indian culture, the holy cow is worshipped for her indispensable importance to human life.
The role of cows in reviving sustainable rural life, very important, more than important, actually, absolutely essential aspect. Rural life, village life, whether it is in India or anywhere around the world, is based actually on what we could refer to as cow culture.
However, the bond between cows and human culture was severed with the growth of science and technology following the Industrial Revolution. For instance, traditional agriculture practices in India were heavily dependent on cows. Bulls were engaged in plowing the soil before planting seeds, and cow dung and cow urine were used in making natural fertilizers and pest repellents. But with the onslaught of chemical and petroleum-derived pesticides and fertilizers, the cows have lost their place in agriculture.
And across the country, if you take about 50-55% of the total chemical pesticides are consumed by the cotton farmers. The kind of chemical pesticides used not only increase the cost of cultivation, but also increase the pest resistance. As a result, farmers have to spray more or more number of times, or use more powerful pesticides, or make a concoctions of these pesticides and then spray. And as a result, we have seen large number of pesticide poisoning cases happening, and farmers getting admitted into hospitals. This is one of the very common feature which we have seen in the farms in Telangana.
With the erosion of cow culture, a dangerous nexus has formed between toxic pesticides, costly chemical fertilizers, mechanized agriculture, genetically modified seeds, and industrialized economies. This collusion has also led to the destruction of ecological balance and social happiness, as evident in the millions of farmer suicides in India following the introduction of chemical agriculture in the so-called Green Revolution.
It's only the industrialization which came in late 19th century, which has started, affecting the handcraft skills, and the fast life which is setting in now has taken away the livelihood means from the farmers and from the weavers and from artisans, from wood carvers. So the environment and the social context, if you look at both ways, doing indigenous cotton farming and spinning yarn by hand and weaving cloth by hand on handloom and dyeing it in natural dye, preparing your dyes from plants and natural forest produce material is the call of the day.
Modern agriculture system, due to the high cost, there is a production system went down. The cost of the agriculture became very high. So it's very important that we revive the connection between the cows and the farmers and the whole agriculture system.
If you see the number of suicide rate actually is more in cotton farmer. So we at AMSHU, what we are trying to do here is connect back this connection between cows and farmers, especially in the cotton cultivation.
There is a solution, and we want to be a part of it. AMSHU is our humble effort to revive traditional technologies and techniques in cloth making and begin untangling the mess one thread at a time. Bringing back cows into our culture can happen easily when we localize our lifestyles and live simply in villages.
So these things cannot take place unless we have people who are localized. And this is a very essential theme actually in the Vedic culture, to become localized, where all of these different trades and activities and technologies can be taken up in a very natural and systematic way.
AMSHU began in 2016 with 6 farmers, 11 cows, and 19 acres of land spread across a small village in South India named Polkampalli. Here, we are training farmers to cultivate indigenous organic cotton using cow-based natural farming practices. And we are generating opportunities for local artisans to make and sell hand-spun, hand-woven, and naturally dyed cloth from harvested cotton.
Traditional technologies were very, very important, especially in villages. Nowadays, we have, to a large extent, abandoned these technologies that have to do with bringing water in a more simple and natural way, in making cloth.
AMSHU is working on preserving and reviving traditional technologies of cloth making. For example, to remove seeds from cotton, we use hand-cranked wooden tools. Dust and dirt are removed from the cotton using a bow-like wooden device called vidhunoti, the likes of which have been used in India for several thousands of years. The humble charkha was elevated to being a symbol of India's independence in the British era, when Mahatma Gandhi urged Indians to spin their own yarn, which was a daily chore for them, before the East India Company dismantled India's rural cloth economies. Since village life has changed much in post-independence India, we use the Ambar Charkha, an improvised version that helps us provide employment to rural women in Polkampalli. Chemical dyes derived from petroleum and toxic heavy metals are commonplace in the modern textile industry. In contrast, AMSHU uses natural dyes obtained from plant parts such as flowers, roots, seeds, and bark, which have traditionally adorned handmade yarn and cloth. Cow products such as cow urine, cow milk, and cow dung are often used in the dyeing processes which were developed in an era when humans lived close to nature. It is not impossible to develop systems centered on cow culture to produce cloth, even if it is not easy to establish them. Although not all ancient technologies are immediately replicable, we are using some of them to reduce the social and ecological costs that are externalized by modern industries. We have employed nearly 20 people in the process of reviving these age old cow based cloth technologies. Every Amshu shirt you buy plays part in building the new future.
మాకు 3-4 ఏళ్ళ పని లేదు వంశు సంస్థ వాళ్ళు పని కల్పించిండు పని.
As we embark on shaping our own lives around the philosophies of Goseva, Ahimsa, and Swarajya, we have also touched the lives of others around us. Not only have we revived the livelihoods of 20 people, including weavers, yarn spinners, and farmers, we have also invested in their betterment by offering training and support.
ఇంకొక 5 ఏళ్ళు కాస్తాయి నువ్వు ఇదే విధంగా మందు గుప్పి మందు కొడితే కదా చెట్టే ఉండదు ఇంకా కాయం కాదు సైజ్ రావాలంటే నువ్వు పెంట పోస్తే తిరుగుతా మందులు గుప్తే తిరుగుంటది ఇది ఇంకా
more people, more livelihood can be created and the know-how can be popularized if the youth of the country come forward. And that's how I see today in Amsho initiative that youth has come forward, educated, highly intellectually inclined group of people have come together to make this initiative, to go to the grassroots level and make the difference in the society and in the environment.
Polkampalli is but one village and Amshu is but one project. What we have accomplished and hope to accomplish is a fraction of what is truly necessary to rebuild the social systems that uphold the relationship between cows and humans. There is so much more to be done. Cow culture is calling upon each one of us to contribute in whatever ways we can as consumers, investors, experimenters, entrepreneurs, or advocates to further this movement on to the future generations.
सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां सस्य श्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे
Hare Krishna. I hope I'm audible. So this is a simple project. A group of devotees came together, started doing this. It's been for 5 years. We have been working together. Just on the farming, on cotton farmers. We have few Matajis. Actually, I want to show that a few pictures. It'll take a few more minutes to close this session. Here. Okay.
Namaskar, dear seekers, and good evening to all of you. So today's topic will be about vegetarian.
Okay. Sure, I'm audible. Okay, so the one I mentioned about Amshu, we actually kind of got a few devotees came together. We have a nice Mataji, a few Matajis working. So that way we are getting this whole thing coming together, what Prabhupada wants, having a localized system and reviving these technologies. And also have a simple life so that we can spend more on spirituality. So the other one, apart from Amshu, we've also been working on different techniques about what Subhash Palekar mentioned about the growing stuff. We have been a little successful working on seeds. We have a seed bank. We have a huge seed bank of all vegetables, millets, rice, and dal. And also we've done multi-cropping, what Palikarji was mentioning as a forest. Like just don't put one stuff and put multiple crops together, which will help. This was also a great success there. all the vegetables have a more biodiversity and soil quality will be increased eventually. That also we tried here. We added even corn and millets to the just in a place so that the biodiversity will increase in each place. So we have a model, but not just devotees. So many outside people come here, learn stuff. That's what Prabhupada wants. Have a Varnashram colleges where more people will learn this thing. What is mentioned. We have cows. So this is some of the things. We've grown a lot of veggies in the farms. It's very not just like Acharya has mentioned. Food is offered, grown by a devotee. Krishna loves it more. That is the highest level of offering to Krishna. Vishnu Chakravarti's Thakur especially mentioned about this point that getting something from outside cooking is one level of it. But if a devotee grows with love and devotion and just cooks it, offer it to Krishna, that is the highest level of devotion. So I'm just closing terms. I just want to tell that this is not just a magic, or it's not a rocket science. Any devotees can learn. If devotees can do it, more others can follow. And we conduct a lot of training courses. We have people coming across city. They come here. They even understand how the simple life is important, and also they actually understand, oh, these spiritual people also does something on this nature. Like when we read Bhagavatam, it's mentioned all these things. When they come and see, they'll be more happy to connect with us. There's a lot of visitors come, and it's my son having paddy grown. We have so many devotees learn how to grow food. I was mentioning about this Mataji. She does 30 rounds chanting every day. She does her service so nicely. That's what Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. Just do your duty according to your nature. This is exactly what Prabhupada wants us, Varnashrama. All of us cannot be Brahmanas. All of us has to be categorized in different buckets according to our nature. And we all have different propensities that can be more seen when you stay with nature. That was Prabhupada's vision of Varnashrama, categorizing people and working on their own interests. She's amazing lady. By just doing this, she can chant more rounds and focus more on devotion. So that's a success, what we could see. We are training more devotees across internationally. We have multiple tools to train. These are the grown by devotees, dhotis. There are a couple of more families working on this line. It's been a very good work. This all I'm showing is what we have grown. So this is what Prabhupada wants. We practice and preach, not just preach without practicing it. So and what Prabhupada is envisioning works. What Prabhupada was telling about a simple life, which helps a devotion, and by developing these models, our acharyas will be pleased, and also we will be successful in our own spiritual practice. So that's pretty much from my side. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, there is some questions I can take. How can we integrate animals into farming? Somebody is ready to take. Sanaka Sanatana Prabhu, can you help us here?
Yes, okay, I'm back on. Hare Krishna. So nice. You want me to answer the question? I'm sure the question is for you.
I can do.
Yes, you please go ahead. We have another 5 minutes, and then we can close the session for today, and then make a little bit announcement for tomorrow.
Thank you. So how to integrate animals into farming? It's a very good, perfect question. Without animals, we can't do farming. In Telugu, there is something called Padi Panta, means cows and land is both are connected. Like Maharaj always mentioned, cows, land, and Krishna. Right? You can see there is a video in YouTube. Alan Savory, it's a very great guy, scientifically proven by just grazing cows in any place, by just grazing, keeping them around, you see the soil fertility increases like anything. So without animals, the way the current current agriculture is going on, that's the reason we put more chemical and we are eating poison. So like Prabhupada mentioned, having just a cow, you can sustain it. Palekarji mentions with one cow 30 acres. So there is this is all required, and if you don't have cows, your soil fertility will never increase. We have a farm. I'm just right sitting in the right opposite to it. When we give a break to the crop, we just leave the cows and put a solar fencing. Just leave it, and soil enriches. You don't need to do anything. So it's nature, right? If cows just walk around, put cow dung, cow urine naturally, the soil will enrich like top. So I would highly recommend devotees to watch this documentary from Alan Savory. It very nicely explains how we should integrate cows to the land, and it's very much required. And like Palekarji also mentioned, only cows have this beautiful what do you call nature, which will enrich the soil, like because it has Suryaketu Nadi, which can convert the energy from the sun to the anything. So so that's what I can say with respect to the question.
All right, Hare Krishna, Sri Ramdas, thank you so much for your contribution. And so we are slowly winding up for today. Tomorrow is another day, and at the same time. And tomorrow's subject is how to get connected to Mother Cow. We have very interesting speakers. We have His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj, who is having a big farm and a lot of experience. We have His Grace Revati Raman Prabhu, who is running a very big project in Tirupati, who is having a big Goshala and a farm there as well. And then we're hearing from Damodar Dulal, who's also running a farm in Talasari. So there is a very interesting program tomorrow. It is much more devotee-based in a sense tomorrow, and also day after tomorrow, how to transit from Goshala to farm community. And we have interesting speakers there as well. So I want to thank everyone for attending the program. And we want to thank Guruji, Palika, and we want to thank Srira, and we want to always thank Kalakanta Prabhu for arranging the conference in the first place and inspiring the whole team to keep going. So thank you, Hare Krishna, and I hope I'll meet you all again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.